You know, one of the requirements of all candidates is turning in campaign finance reports just like this one on a regular basis. It's a system of checks and balances to ensure that candidates follow the rules on campaign contributions, and it's a matter of public record. But it can also give voters a look into each candidate's finances and learn where their money came from and what they're spending that money on. This is money that's entrusted to them for the purpose of running a campaign, but it can also give voters some insight into how that candidate would handle your tax dollars if elected to office. For instance, are those funds coming from local people living right here in the community or from out of state? Does a candidate take money from PACs or political action committees? And how much money is a candidate spending to get elected? And for that matter, how much do you think is too much money to spend on a local race? Well, here's some food for thought. Each district in Huntsville has approximately 36,000 registered voters, and on average, around 10% will go to the polls for a municipal election. Now that amounts to about 3,600 people who will be voting at the polls. Now, in order to win the race, you have to get more than 50% of the vote. So let's say you won with just over 50% at, say, 1,850 votes. What do you think would be a reasonable amount to spend on your campaign? Well, let's say you had a high budget of $40,000. That would mean you would have paid $22 per vote. Now, let me tell you, I don't have anywhere near $40,000, but I know how to be creative and use the resources I do have to achieve goals and get things done. I personally decided not to accept money from political action committees. I don't believe in raising large sums of money to spend on a small local campaign. Instead, I want to be a good steward of your money, whether it's from a campaign or as your representative on the city council. You know, they say if you look at a person's checkbook, you can tell by their spending if they care more about themselves or about others. And here's another thought. If you were spending money that you had to earn as opposed to money that was entrusted to you, how would you spend it? Well, really, the two most important things in any election are simply this: who the candidates are and how do they handle spending. So how many signs, billboards, pamphlets, and other advertising do you need to spend money on to get the message out? Leadership's not about having a lot of money, but by doing a lot with what you have. And in any election, it isn't the money that decides, it's all of you. That's why I'd like to ask for your vote and your support on August 28th. Go to the polls. There's only going to be 3 names on the ballot. Check the box that you think will be the best voice to represent you. Now, if you want to learn more about campaign finance reports, visit my website where I have a link to the public records on those finance reports. And I would appreciate your vote and your support on August 28th.